Welcome to my Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Right. Today, we are going to dive into a huge debate, a $12 billion debate over multivitamins. Are they must-have biohack or are they a total bust specifically for women? And this is a huge debate. And we actually take multivitamins and we were surprised that so many of our friends don't. And so that's what led us down this avenue is we're like, oh, let's research it and find out, are we really wasting our money? Is it worth it? And all that fun stuff. So that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about different multivitamins, the research behind it, why some people say that it's a bust, and why some people say it's a must. And we're going to focus on Dr. Hyman, Dr. Patrick, and Dr. Adrian Chavez. And just to name a few, there's tons of doctors out there and have tons of different opinions about this. So those are a few of the ones that we favored.
Yep. I mean, there's so much information out there, right? Like this is, like you said, a huge debate. So we were like, where do we even start? And we really just wanted to start with the people that we've listened to on a lot of other things and have come out right about so many issues, right? So, yeah, multivitamins. I never in a million years thought that this was debatable based on personal experience. So
I was like, which is ironic since you did not take vitamins as a kid.
Well, that's it, right? Because I mean, in doing our research, on this, one of the big things that they found is in communities or places where it's difficult to get sufficient nutrients in your food, your diet, your environment, or whatever, it can make a bigger difference than somebody who eats very healthy and has access to a lot of things. So they're not going to notice as big of a difference, right? And I think I was definitely on the other side of that because as a teenager, I don't think I got nutrition. I really think that between I was working, I was at high school. And so my diet really consisted of maybe a piece of toast in the morning and, or I wouldn't eat at all. And I'd be starving at school and I'd have $1 and I'd get a Snickers out of the vending machine. And that would be my breakfast. And then I would go to lunch and get McDonald's, an ice cream cone and some French fries. That would be my lunch. And then I worked at a burger joint. Shout out to the Training Table in Salt Lake City. That place was awesome. And so I would eat cheese fries for dinner, and that was the majority of my diet for years throughout high school.
That is so nutrient dense. I can't even handle it. You're getting so many nutrients in that.
I was definitely getting a lot of,
seed oils,
fried fats, yeah, seed oils. And sugar. There's definitely, a lot of sugar. So
it tasted good.
Oh yeah, it was great, except that I was sick all the time. So whenever anything went around, any virus or anything, I got it for sure. I feel like I was sick half of high school. And so funnily enough, I met my husband my senior year of high school. And he noticed how sad my diet was and how sick I was. And that was actually one of the first sweet, a guy dating a guy gift he got me. He got me a Journey CD. And then he got me a bottle of multivitamins.
Which are both huge wins. One is caring about you enough that he hears about your future. And then one is just in pure enjoyment at the moment that I guess that could go on forever and ever too, but that's a great gift.
Yeah, it was actually super romantic. So, I mean, not right. That wasn't a first gift, but it was probably within the first couple of months we were dating. And I really think it was also a little selfish where he was like, look, I want to take you on dates and you're sick all the time. So take your vitamins because I want to go out with you.
And we can't go out if you're sick all the time. So take care of yourself.
Yep. It was really sweet actually. But, I started taking, and of course our mom tried to push vitamins on me all the time, but she was a single mom. She was working and had younger kids, our little brother and sister. And so she did try, but at 6 a.m, trying to get a teenager to take a multivitamin. And one of the times you take it and you throw it up because it hurts your stomach, you're not going to convince that kid to do that. You have to find other ways.
Since I'm just a baby bit older than you are. Then when we were younger, when the older half of us were younger, she would give us those Flintstone vitamins. I know a lot of people know we had those Flintstone vitamins, so we had those regularly. And so our mom is definitely much more in the natural, organic, wholesome type lifestyle. And so she always was trying to heal us naturally and stuff. So through the food and different things. So it's ironic though, but I do have to say, teenagers beat to their own drum. So it doesn't matter what moms say to teenagers, they have to learn it themselves. And it oftentimes has to come from somebody else. So I'm glad that Chris was able to step in and take on your health, nutrition needs at the moment.
Yeah. Cause as a kid, like when I was younger, like clearly I remember the Flintstone vitamins. So I think in my teenage years when I had that independence, I did not use it well.
Yeah. Well, and you also had a job and your own money. So you're like, I don't need to rely on my mom's cooking. I can go and get XYZ.
Yep. And then she was being a single mom, she was just so busy, like she could only do so much. Right. And so anyway, it was such an interesting thing though, because I did start taking the multivitamins and saw a significant increase in my health. My immune system, got so much better and my energy got better. Like all of these things that I was like having problems with. I mean, as a teenager, you sleep a lot anyway, but I think I slept more than most from just sheerly not eating nutrient rich foods.
I wonder if that's why that has led us down to this path to all this biohacking now. Because it did make such an impact on you when you're younger that now you're like, I know I can fix it. I know I can change something and tweak something and I can feel better. This doesn't have to be the end of me.
Absolutely. I think it does because I was having problems so young that I think a lot of kids don't have because they eat at home. They get more, their parents give them more nutrition, right? Like instead of just living off of fast food. And so, it was eye-opening to me for sure. And at the same time, when I graduated high school, I got into, like fitness, trying to be more fit and all the things. And it was really so eye-opening that I think it's led us down this path for sure. But then for me, coming back to multivitamins, everybody should be taking those. That's literally one of the first questions I ask when family comes over or I go visit family or friends. I'm like, you take my multivitamins, right? Do you take them every day? They're always like, I mean, I think I have some. I should probably take them. And I'm like, if you don't have them, I will order them for you and start taking them.
Yeah. You ordered some for dad. You've ordered some for mom. You've gotten a lot of people on different vitamin needs.
Yeah. My mother-in-law, some of my sister-in-laws, like whenever I visit and like if they don't have magnesium, I send them that. If they don't have a multivitamin, I send them that because like we're all so deficient in common vitamins, which we can talk about, that I'm like, are you getting your vitamin D? Like probably not. This multivitamin has it. I'm going to send you some. So
well, it's interesting doing the research for this that was talking about how it is a $12 billion industry, but there is no real rules or there is no real watchdog over the vitamins. So you really could be thinking that you're taking vitamin B or magnesium, and then it really is a synthetic knockoff or not very minimal on it. So it's hard because unless it's third party tested, you really have no idea what you're really taking.
Well, especially because there can be so many vitamins that they're like, this is that vitamin. But if it's not in a form that's more easily like
bioavailable
to you, you're not going to absorb what they say they're giving you. And so you have to make sure it's the most bioavailable form of that nutrient or that vitamin. And this is stuff that it's like, there's so many different nutrients, first of all. And then there's different forms of them and which ones are more bioavailable. Like it's very complicated and overwhelming for sure.
Yes, it is there's definitely a lot into it. And it's funny when one of the podcasts we were listening to, he was saying, you don't need vitamins if you hunt and gather your own wild food, if you only have pure clean air, pure clean water, and you wake up with the sun and go to sleep with the sun, and if you're not exposed to any environmental toxins. If you can check off all of those areas, then you do not need vitamins. You do not need vitamin supplements.
And supplements,
like, oh man. I was like the opposite. We're like, ooh, okay, like I'm good on that one. Like,
right.
Maybe with my water purifier now that I can check off, okay, I do drink clean water now. But
pure water. That's it.
Yeah. It's hard. I was like, so but I laughed so hard when I was listening to that because I was like, that is so true. That is so our modern society, right? Our modern society does
Yep.
not lend itself to that. And so our diet is not nutrient dense. Usually there is processed food and fast food and all the treats and the
Yep.
sweets. And our nephew was visiting us, came to California, and they wanted to take his friend from England to Disneyland. So they were out visiting, and it was interesting hearing, his friend from England. He's like, you guys, like the portions are so much bigger and everything is so much more sweet, like everything is just rich and loaded with sugar and loaded with all the stuff that makes it taste great, but it also makes you, it doesn't help you and it makes you feel good. It's not nutrient dense.
Yeah, I mean, I really do want to cover this. And it's that concept of hyperpalatability, right? Where it's like a lot of our food is made to just be addictive and easy to digest and make you want more. But it's not giving you the nutrients that you need, right? And we've already talked about before too, just the concept of since the 70s, the soil depletion that's happening in our farming practices. It's crazy. Like 30% of the minerals and vitamins and things have been stripped from, vegetables and fruits and things like that since the 70s. It's insane.
Yeah. And it's depressing because you feel like you're eating all these if you're a person who eats fruits and vegetables, let me phrase that because not everybody does. But if
Right.
you're a person who prioritizes fruit and vegetables, you're still like, if you think you're getting 100% of your needs, you're still lacking 30% just of the depletion rate of the vitamins in our current farming.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's where the concept of the multivitamin, I think that there's this whole debate about, is it worth it? Is it not? Does it actually do anything? And I'm like, it's not like a magic pill, but it is a very good safety net, I think, is the analogy that I've heard used in, when we've been doing this research. It's your insurance policy that if you have any gaps in your nutrition that we don't know, like we know that our food is less nutritious than it used to be. But also, we just don't know if there are big gaps. And so a vitamin can fill those gaps when you have a high quality vitamin, right? That's most bioavailable.
And that reminds me of what they said. The reason the research is so controversial is because it is hard to test multivitamins because it's not like it's a drug. A lot of the studies are set up poorly in like a drug protocol, whereas like you measure before and then you give the multivitamin and then after. But with vitamins, you could be taking food, so you're never ever at the same starting point. So
Yep.
because if you have different foods, everybody starts at a different level. So it's hard to measure throughout it. And the time, like you'd have to follow that testing group over decades. And very few companies will invest all that money to go over decade span research to cover all the way to their death. So it is, but I mean, there is lots of studies that show different things, but that's why there is that debate in the news, because there's the studies were poorly made and are hard to do because of the longevity that is needed to make them real or legitimized.
Yeah. And to give like a clear picture of the benefit of multivitamins, it's very long term. It's over a lifetime, right?
Statistically significant. That's the word I was looking for.
There you go. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Yeah. It makes it really tricky. But in my personal experience, I'm like, there's no question. Everybody needs the safety net. Like, come on, guys. Like,
well, we're
talking about optimal health here.
So that's where it's like, it goes back to what we've talked about since the beginning, like our very first episode, ways to well and functional health. You need to go and get tested, get the blood, get your overall picture so you can see what you are deficient in. Because like for just between us, which we mentioned this several times, Mallory is super deficient in magnesium. I am not deficient in magnesium. So when Mallory takes the magnesium supplement, she has a significant difference, to the point that when we did our 72-hour fast, she wasn't willing to not take take
I took it the whole
magnesium
time
because it was so crucial to her lifestyle, and to like, it was supplementing a deficit that you needed.
Yeah.
But for me, I could give and take magnesium because I'm not deficient in magnesium, but I am deficient in omega-3.
Well, that's the interesting thing is, like, we eat and we've talked about this, we eat a very similar diet. And this shows how much bio-individuality is a real thing, because
Mhm.
it applies nutritionally too, because we eat a similar diet, but when we did our testing, I was deficient in magnesium. I was critically low on vitamin D. I was anemic. I was low on iron. And there was another one. Selenium was a mineral that I was low on. There were a lot of problems on my test results, Larissa. But you were only low in like your omega-3s, right? Was there anything else you were low on?
No, I had my insulin, like with LDLs, my like they were high or low. I mean, they weren't that far high or low, but I was like, oh, but that wasn't even on my radar.
Oh, your cholesterol.
Yeah, that wasn't even on my radar. I was like, what? And then
Yeah, like the
I
ratio was off.
had 9 like areas. I mean, not
Yeah, I
9
had those
areas.
things too, but like just as far as nutrition goes, like
Yeah.
deficiencies in vitamins and minerals, I had like 5. And when we have a similar diet, and for our results to be so different, it really just shows how much you don't know what your safety net's doing for
Mhm.
you, but it's going to help you wherever you're missing something if you have a good spread of nutrition in your multivitamin, right? And your supplements.
Well, and that's why it's a good idea to get tested too, because then you can really hone in. And so I stopped taking vitamins that I thought I'd heard about, and I was like, "Oh, this is great, this is great." But then if
Yeah.
you're not low on it, if you're not deficient in it, you don't need to take it. So why waste the money on it? So even though it
Yep.
might seem expensive to go to Waste to Wells or Function Health, blah, blah, then it might be upfront, but in the long run, like you will be saving a lot of money because you will hone in on what you specifically need, and so you might not need to take everything that you
Plus your
think.
quality of life's better, right? Because as
Yeah.
soon as I was feeling terrible, I had no idea what was going on. And so just identifying what I needed to take and starting to take the magnesium and the vitamin D, like still to this day, when I take my multivitamin, I feel an energy boost. But it's
Mm.
because it's got the vitamin D in there, I think, that it really, and I'm just, whatever my lifestyle is, like I still need it. It's still a deficit that I'm trying to fill. That's a gap that I'm trying to fill, right?
Yeah. And that's when you see the best results. That's another part about the studies is
Yep.
like if you go to a environment or like a city or a town or an area that is deficient in something, and then you fill that whole area with that supplement, then you'll see huge gains. So it is
Yep.
interesting, like how that also makes it hard to actually truly research and study.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. It's interesting. We listened to quite a few um, specialists and people talking about it, and read of quite a few things. But listening to Dr. Hyman talk about just the function health client base, right? Like, and the number of deficiencies that they're seeing in the population, and like women, like 80% of women were found to be deficient in vitamin D, like not even like a little, like significantly deficient. Like B12 was another one, magnesium was another one, iron was a really common one. And so I think
Omega,
it's, yeah, omega
omega
3s.
threes.
I think it's so fascinating that they have like real time findings, right? Like they're testing people every day, and this is just what they're seeing. And it's pretty eye opening about how much we need to pay attention to our nutrients.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. So we have a game we're going to play today, and we are
Mhm.
going to give a biohack score from 1 to 10 based on the evidence that we read. So we have cards in front of us, but we'll say them out loud. So we'll go over one, and then we'll each rate it and decide on what we give that score. So our first
Yeah.
category is going to be water-soluble vitamins. And these are vitamins that you flush out daily. So you have to steadily take them in order to get them throughout the day. So the first one is vitamin B12. And Dr. Chavez and Dr. Hyman tells us that it builds red blood cells and it fights vegan/aging fatigue. And it prevents anemia when you have heavy periods. So what would you rate that? Vitamin B12.
B12.
Mm.
I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, I was going to give it an 8 too.
I really think this one's very helpful, but to me personally, I've had so many problems with other ones and so many more benefits that it's an 8 for me.
I agree. It's not one I'm super low on, and so it wasn't a heavy need for me personally.
Yeah, like we haven't felt the benefits of filling that gap. Still innate though. I mean, like it's not. We know it's important. We've got that covered.
Yes, it is. It is very, very important. All right, the next one is folate, which is B9, and is good for DNA repair and baby brain protection. And then I am actually the methylfolate for MTHFR gene. 40% of women have a what is it? A gene disorder, a gene mutation, and they can't process it that correctly. And so you have to take something else to supplement to help you process that. So when I went to, I listened to on Gary Brecka on the human biologist, and I got that tested, and I have a gene mutation on that. So now I supplement. That's one of the things I supplement because I have that mutation, which I never would have known. And you only have the test once in your life. So you take it once and then you know if you have it or not, you don't have it. And so I have it.
And you did that with Function Health, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would rate this one myself. What do you rate it?
I'm going to say 10 because I'm dysfunctional.
I also say 10, but I don't know if I'm dysfunctional. I want to do that test. But the thing that I learned about folate before even you discovered all this stuff is there's folate. So like a lot of times you get like a prenatal vitamin, right? Like you're pregnant, you want to make sure you're getting your folate because that can cause some serious problems with pregnancy, right? If you don't have enough. That you get a multivitamin and it has folate in it, but you actually do want to look for the methylfolate, even if you don't have the gene mutation, I think, because it's more bioavailable to you. And so that's a better form. But also there have been links in a lot of studies to folate in multivitamins being linked to postpartum depression, actually. And so that was the big takeaway that I took is I learned about all this after I had my baby and was struggling with postpartum depression. And I was like, I wonder if this is part of it because I looked at the multivitamin that I had been taking the prenatal my whole pregnancy and it was folate, not methylfolate. And I wonder if I had switched that, if I had known before, if it would have helped, it's very interesting.
And how many people take that now, like, and they don't realize that they're getting depressed, not just from the natural process of life-changing of having a baby and the miracleness of that, but also just the fact that their multivitamin has the wrong type of folate.
Yeah. And I don't know how direct of a link it is, but even if it makes it a little worse, that's rough, right?
Yeah.
And so every pregnant lady that I know, I tell them that, like, just get methylfolate, like whatever multivitamin you get. And I did find better brands. And so whenever like my sister-in-laws got pregnant or like, things, I would send them that because I'm that person.
Well, I wish I would have known. Actually, when I was pregnant, I couldn't take any vitamins. I threw up every day, so nothing was staying down. So it was
right. Well, remember that's why I took it at night right before I went to bed because it was when I was most likely to keep it down. Doesn't mean I always did.
Yeah. Well, now I'm glad I threw it up because.
Yeah,
I was right. I had a gene mutation anyway, so it wouldn't have processed correctly.
Hey, the doctor told me if I could keep the vitamin down for 20 minutes, that was long enough. So
you got something
sad to
out
know
of
that. Yeah. Oh man, the interesting things we learn. Okay, what's next on water-soluble vitamins? Is that all of them?
Yep, that's all of them.
Okay.
Well, that's not all of them, but that's the ones we're going to cover in the game.
Yes, we're talking about the ones that are most pertinent to women, either because we are most often deficient in it or it can have some of the best benefits for us, right?
Yes.
Okay, fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin D, this is our immune boss, hormone balancer, fights PMS, menopause, bone loss, energy. It's a huge one for energy. It does everything, man. What do you give it?
I'm going to say 10 because I also have a hard time with taking it.
Yeah, this is a 10 for me because I've personally felt the benefit of, I felt the low of being critically low on this one, and I felt the high of getting back to a better place with it. And I still rely on supplementation for this, but it makes it it's an energy boost for sure.
And you have to pair it with what, K2?
Yep.
When you take it, that
That's
helps
right.
process it. And then like it's fat soluble.
And you want vitamin D3. So vitamin D3 and K2.
Yes.
So that I have, like when I got AG1, they sent like a little dropper because it's fat soluble, right? They sent it separate from the drink. And we still use that. It's really great. Plus it's in my multivitamin. So like I'm getting it multiple ways and I love it.
And they say, and Dr. Patrick said that deficient women cut cancer risk by 25% when they take vitamin D.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's a crucial thing that is like, if it's taken correctly, it's very helpful. But if it's not taken correctly, it is a wash.
And you can overdose on this, but it's very hard to do because all of the studies and all the information that I've been reading, we're actually underestimating how much vitamin D we need. And so you could always use more. And I actually made a note on it. Like you really want to have like 4,000 IUs of it. And I think that like the daily value is like 250 or something. Like it's crazy.
2,000. And because that's another thing Dr. Hyman was saying. He was saying how like the recommended dosage is like on the low end, like the very low end. So really we need more than the recommended dose because like depending on how deficient you are in it, we could always go more. So that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay.
And I should count how much I'm doing. I have no idea. I'm just doing what the doctor at Wastewell told me to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to add it up. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay. Vitamin A. Okay. This is a skin glow, immunity, acne warrior. But we have to note if you have too much of an excess, you don't want to overdo it on vitamin A because it can cause liver issues. What would you rate it?
I'm going to rate it an A, just because I like anything that has to, that is acne based, that you could clear your skin.
You mean an 8?
That's my scientific feeling about it.
I'm going to give it a 7. So you gave it an 8. I gave it a 7. It's I should probably rate it higher for the skin glow alone because that's something that I do want to research in the future, is like a glow up, right? Biohacking glow ups.
Now, vitamin A is one you can overdose on. So I
wonder, it
wonder,
causes liver issues.
Yeah. But I mean, would your face be clear and glowy even if you're overdosing?
Would you be a little yellow because your liver's struggling?
Then it starts working backwards. You get clear to a point and then it goes backwards.
Okay.
That's probably realistic.
Oh boy.
We're so scientific, and we're so exact about everything that we say.
Welcome to the inside of our heads.
All right, the next one is one that I am super deficient in. It's omega-3, and it is like Dr. Patrick says it's number 1 for her. So some people say vitamin D, some people have different things, but for her, for women specifically, it is omega-3. And she had this she said in the study that the smokers, they were comparing smokers versus non-smokers. So the smokers had high levels of omega-3 and they equaled the lifespan of a non-smoker with super low levels of omega-3. So they had the same lifespan.
Wow.
And so she was talking to Dr. Hyman. Dr. Hyman's like, now don't go out there and start smoking. That is not what we're saying. But that's how important omega-3s are, that if you're deficient in that, it's as bad as if you are a smoker.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And that's where I'm deficient in. I'm deficient in that. So then I'm like, oh, I'm like a smoker every day and so I doubled up on my omega-3s. I'm like, okay, I'm taking double.
That's interesting because it's for hormonal balance and brain function. So maybe that's the brain fog. You're deficient in omega-3s.
And I saw something, which again is not science backed, but I did see something on one of the social media things where it said that like, I'm not a sweets fan. I'm definitely a salty person, like chips and salsa, like all the way. And I did see something that if you're craving chips, you're low in omega-3. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's my whole life because I do love chips and salsa.
Yeah, chips and salsa are good.
Again,
Mm.
another science backed of my own personal opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, I might have been deficient in omega-3 for a while. So I need to really step up my game on that.
Okay, so what would you rate it? I mean, do we even need to ask at this point?
For me, I have to rate it a 10 just because I need it.
No, I'm going to rate it 10 too, because honestly, it's equivalent to being a smoker as far as lifespan goes on deficiency. Like, that's a pretty big indicator. So that's a key one for sure.
Yeah, who wants to risk that? Not me.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
okay, I think then we're moving on to minerals, which we have covered in the past on our minerals episode. Yes, we will touch on those this time though. So first is iron, which is huge for energy, right? And I was anemic. But the interesting thing that we learned about this when we covered minerals is it's an oxygen transport. And that's why you don't have energy, because you don't have iron like oxidizes your blood so that you can actually have more energy in your cells. And so that makes you tired. Very interesting. And this is a very common deficiency for women for obvious reasons. And so I would rate it iron. I'm going to give this one a 9.
Because a lot of women are deficient, just because of their periods and stuff and the heavy, right?
That is the obvious reason. Yeah. Like it's usually like menstruating, things like that. We tend to be more deficient than like men are, right?
I don't have an issue with this, so I rated a 7.
This one was a big one for me. I also think it's because I avoided red meats a lot. Red meats are like harder for me to digest. I get more stomach aches from like steak and hamburger and stuff. So I think that actually contributed to being iron deficient. And this is one that you can have too much of. You can have too much iron in your blood. And so it's one that you want to really, I've never taken like a supplement with iron in it unless I knew by lab tests that I was deficient. Which I was. I've been anemic several times in my life, and so this was like the third time when I did Ways to Well. And then I didn't take the iron supplement long term. I took it for about 6 months and then retested, and then they were like, "You're recovered enough that you can get it from food from here." And so then I switched to just like eat more steak, and I was like, "Okay, I'll eat more steak." And leafy greens and
I was just going to say, doesn't spinach have iron in it too? And
yeah, and magnesium too. So I eat a lot of spinach and like dark leafy greens.
Yeah, I also enjoy spinach, especially my eggs. All right, the next one is zinc. So zinc is used for your hormone balance. It's used for your hair health. And what else is zinc for?
Isn't it for immunity? I thought it was for your immune system too. A major immune system booster.
You're right. Because that's what Brad said. You have to take zinc before you go on an airplane or travel, because you got to boost up your immune system before you go. So what are you going to say on zinc? What's your score for
I'm going to give it an 8.
I am going to give it a 9 because I do not like getting sick. So I do like being proactive.
I get sick more than you. I should probably give this one a 10, to be honest. We were literally talking this morning, and I'm like, my 2-year-old threw up. I don't know if it's the stomach flu or if it's just because the dog threw up. And anytime she hears somebody gagging, she has a gag reflex.
She has sympathy.
We're like, you guys are sick all the time. For the record, she's not sick. It was just a reaction to the dog, which is fun for me. So
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep. Well, I have so many stories of like one time everybody's getting ready for bed. It's just me and the kids. And Chris had just left to go do something because I was like, I got it. Like, don't worry. And he leaves. The dog stands up and throws up all over our rug, like in our kitchen, in our little hearth room. Not a little bit, Larissa. It was all of his dinner in like 7 different places on the rug. And I was like, what is happening? And then my 2-year-old sees the dog throwing up and the smell and like the sound. So she starts gagging and throws up all over her dinner plate. And then my 7-year-old starts gagging, and I'm like, that's it. Everybody upstairs. Like, I gotta clean this up.
Well, it's a good
Anyway,
thing you don't have the gag reflex. Otherwise, it would just be a hot mess. Who would do it?
yeah, seriously, I'm so glad I don't, because it's very real. If anybody just makes a sound around her, she's only 2 and it still makes her like react. So
It's going to be fun to
that's a
watch her
fun
grow up.
adventure. Oh,
You know,
I'm
like
not
if
going to
she's,
tell anybody.
yeah, it's going to be fun to see when as she grows up to see if that, like if she sticks with it or not. That's funny.
I hope not, for her sake. That's rough.
All right. So the
Okay, sorry.
last one is your
Total side
favorite.
tangent.
You should do the last,
Ooh.
or not the last. Yeah, the last mineral.
Oh yeah, magnesium. Oh yeah, this thing does everything. It's
Mhm.
helps with stress, it helps with muscle health, it helps with sleep. It pretty much helps in, I think we looked at it, was like 300 plus processes in the body and 600 plus enzyme reactions in the body or something, which is a whole other scientific conversation. Enzymes are like the catalyst for like reactions in your body and your cells, and magnesium's like central to all of that. So it's plays such a huge role, and I'm definitely going to give that one a 10.
I was
So
just going to say, just for all the processes that it's involved in, I want them
yeah,
firing it top notch. So I also said a 10. I think
yep,
magnesium is a must. And I think if you only take one supplement, it should be magnesium.
yeah, I
And then
agree.
closely followed by omega 3s and vitamin D. 3.
Yes. Yep. And then just a multivitamin, guys, just for anything else. Look, you just want to make sure you're covered. Like, it sucks to be operating on a deficit on stuff. You feel it, and then you just feel off and you can't figure out what it is. Just better to know that you're covered.
Yes, I agree. It's a good safety net.
Yep. Yep. That's
All
for
right.
sure.
We have some questions from our community. So our first question is, I'm a mom of 3 kids, no time, and I have about $20 for multivitamins. Does it really work? And this is the perfect question, because I feel like all of us, not all of us, but even if you don't have the 3 kids, you could have the no time and the no money, like all the different caveats to it. But the
Yep.
best part about this is Suppco,
Mm-hmm.
SUPPCO. This app, it takes all the guessing out for you. It's free. They're not selling anything on it. So it's not like it's like you feel like you're getting like scammed. Like, it's literally a free app. You download it, you fill out, you go through a short questionnaire in the beginning, and it asks you, do you want, recommendations based on your price range, right? Economic
Mm-hmm.
value or high end. So you put that in, and then you fill out your protocol, like what you're looking for to achieve, whether it's energy, whether it's brain fog, whether it's hormonal balance, whether it's longevity, whatever you want. I feel like, what do we
Yeah.
fill out? 2 or 3 of them. They ask you for two or three different protocols. You can pick one
Yeah.
protocol, or you can do more than one. But then it's great because you can put in your price value, and it will tell you what vitamins you need to take. And it will give you a list of qualified third-party tested vitamins. So and there's 29 different components that they look at. And so they're really doing a huge service for all consumers, and they're basically
Mm-hmm.
weeding out all the synthetic, all the trash, all the things that are not have high quality structures inside their facilities to make.
Yep.
And that you can validate that when you are taking this brand of magnesium, you are really getting this much magnesium. And so I just
Right.
love that it takes out all the guesswork for you, and you really can just get the benefits and trust it.
Right. And then depending on your budget or your goals, right? If you only have so much money to spend, you want to find the least expensive, supplement or vitamin that you can get that is still tested to actually be delivering what you need, right? Does it actually work? And so it's such a phenomenal thing that has been put together. The Sepco team is amazing, and everybody should be taking advantage of this, because there's nothing worse than paying for something that does nothing. Like, that's like the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing to discover this. And I'm so happy. Just like with lab testing that's been made more available, and then being able to know what's in your supplements and vitamins, maybe pushing the industry towards, even though it's not heavily regulated, maybe we can self-regulate, right? And be able to trust it more. I think that this is going to help with that. So
Yes, because people want to be on there. They want their brand on there. So they want to go through these different certifications and to make sure that they have a high rating score, because on Subco, they rate, just like what we did with our game, they rate different vitamins or supplements from 1 to 10. And so 10 being the best and 1 being the worst. And so like I know like brands that I have taken were so low, and I was like, oh, I did not know that pretty much what I was taking was pointless because that brand is not rated well at all. So it's interesting when it goes
Yeah.
on. And then the nice part about the app is you can track on there, and it tells you when to take it, morning, lunch, dinner, whatever time. And it also tells you if you should take it with food. Like it really helps hold your hand through that whole process.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
have any
I love it.
allergies, like if you have shellfish allergies, or if you're a vegan, like any dietary strains, you put it all in there, and it will only give you recommendations based on what you need.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. I'm
I
so
know.
obsessed with that thing.
I know, me too. That's why when I got that question, I was like, oh, I can answer this one.
Right. Okay, next question. PCOS warrior here. Will a multi fix my hair loss and insulin spikes?
This one, Dr. Chavez and Dr. Hyman, they actually talked about this on their podcast. So they recommended that zinc and folate, methylfolate, will actually help with your thyroid, which helps with your hair, your insulin, and will help with your hair growth and your spikes. So they said that there's research 65% of regrowth in 8 weeks if you
Wow.
piggyback that together.
Yeah.
Zinc plus folate will fix the
Awesome.
thyroid and your insulin. So try that, experiment with that for a couple of weeks, and then see how you feel and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, last question. 55 and hot flashes ruining sleep. Multi or magnesium solo? And I think that it's both, right?
Definitely. I would always say both for sure, because those are two high rated supplements.
Well, I think that the concept is like magnesium glycinate and vitamin D together equals 40% fewer hot flashes.
So you're covering your bases.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can get the vitamin D hopefully in your multivitamin, right? And then magnesium. But like, I mean, if you're if you're deficient in something while you're going through menopause, like you just want to have your bases covered, man. Like make it easier than it, you don't have to make it harder.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because the hot
very
flashes are a
true.
real thing. So definitely try it. And you can mess with your supplements. Like if you're still not seeing anything, maybe take a little more. Maybe you're severely deficient and you will need to take more than even what you think.
Yeah.
But always consult a
Okay.
doctor, because we are not doctors.
I mean, obviously not, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah. We're not
We just
accurate.
want to talk about it. We're having the conversation, and then you guys are your own detectives and you have your own doctors to talk to about this stuff.
Yeah. But it is interesting, and we do want to help ourselves get better and enjoy going into longevity, into our future.
And having the conversation, right? So like our overall takeaway on multivitamins is I think it's an absolute yes. What do you think?
I think it's a game changer. I am surprised even to this day when people say that they don't take multivitamins, because I think, just like what you said, it's a safety net. Like I want to err on the side of safety. I don't want to have all this regret when I'm older, when my bones are weak and brittle and I have osteoporosis and all sorts of different things. Like, no, I'm going to be proactive.
Yeah, proactive is the name of the game, especially in biohacking, longevity, like wanting to slow aging, like all of the things. It's anything that you can do to help. This is an easy thing to do. The big things are quality matters. So do your research on your brands and test, don't guess. I'm always going to say that. I think that that's an amazing saying. I don't know who came up with it first, but figuring out where I'm deficient, because I was taking a multivitamin when I came in and was deficient, but I needed extra supplementation for specific things. And so that's just given me the power to feel better every day, which is 100% worth it. So just make sure you're not overdoing it on specific vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, K, iron. All of these can be they can create issues for you if you overdo it. Vitamin D, it would take a very long time because we all need a lot of that. So, and really, we're not saying multivitamins replace food, because getting your
Yes.
nutrition from your food first is the most important thing. And I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of research into food as medicine, and how we can get the most out of the food that we have available to us. But a multivitamin will still always be the safety net. So it's just how I feel.
Because it is a supplement. It's supposed to be added on to your regular life, healthy activity. So it's really just supplementing and filling the gaps of where you have.
Yeah.
Based on your
Exactly.
data, based on your results.
And then when you're lazy and you have pizza for dinner with, cookie brownies like I did tonight, you know that your multivitamin is going to be working a little harder today than it was yesterday. So no regrets. It was a great family movie night, and I will be filling it tomorrow though, because pizza always makes me feel like junk. So
yeah, the next day for sure.
Mm-hmm. But I'm taking my multivitamin, so it's going to be doing its job. All right, I think that's it for now. We'll catch you guys next time. All right, you wellness rock stars, that's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.